Hi guys, we are getting ready to go out to dinner for Jen's birthday. I am going to do full glam. I have time, so I'm going to film it. And I want to talk about the number one question that I've been seeing across multiple videos. And that is, when did you realize that semaglutide was working? And when did you start to feel the effects? And I have a lot to say on this topic. So there's a few ways to answer this question. So the first thing I noticed was during week 3, about to hit week 4, I wasn't just eating to eat. I was only eating when I was hungry. I was still hungry. I was still eating 3 meals a day, but I wasn't like looking for snacks in between all of those meals. Also, I was never a huge snacker. So for me, my biggest indication was like, if someone said they were going to eat, normally I'd be like, ooh, I want to go eat too, but that I lost interest in. The thing that I noticed was week 3 and week 4, I wasn't bloated anymore, and I wasn't going to bed with stomach aches. So remember I had said that I didn't really pay attention that much to how I was feeling because of the medication. I kind of just let my body tell me when it was ready to tell me. That was one of my big indicators. I would go to bed with a stomach ache every night before I had started this, and I noticed one night, I was like, wait, I haven't had a stomach ache in 2 weeks. At 5 weeks, I had noticed that I wasn't really finishing meals. I remember that week I had worked a full day, and normally like I do brides. So the brides would have like food for us in the morning, and she's like, do you want anything? You want food? You want coffee? And I was like, no, I'm okay. And before I knew it, it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I still hadn't eaten anything. The 5-week mark was like my turning point where I kind of realized, okay, this is working. But all those things that I mentioned were signs that it was working. You kind of just have to look beyond the scale. Week 6 was when I kind of started to notice that my clothes were fitting differently. I didn't feel thin at this point. I just had more confidence. I think I realized like I was less bloated. My face was less swollen. I have so much water retention. I react really poorly to salt. So all those things went away because I wasn't eating those high calorie, high carb, high salt foods. I think it's also very important to mention that in those 4, 5, 6 weeks that all of it started to kick in and I was feeling changes and all of that, there were still days that I was hungry. There were still days that I could eat. There were still days that I didn't eat anything. So it wasn't really like a consistent flow. It was kind of like an up and down moment. I am going to put emphasis on the importance of not getting in your own head. Set little goals for yourself along the way, and don't compare yourself to anybody else. We all have different bodies and we all have different journeys. Also, people didn't notice I lost weight until I was 2 months in. Don't get discouraged.